All right, all right, all right. Welcome, 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 ladies.
Hola.
From Lisa, Pat, and LaDonna, we are here tonight. We want to welcome you and thank you for being with us for the Wear Your Funky Slippers business series. This is part one of the series. And first of all, we wanted to see how many of you read the directions and you actually wore your funky slippers. So right now, I want to have everybody show us their funky slippers. So right now, on the count of three, 1, 2, 3, let's see them. Everybody. Okay. Yeah. So I can get my foot down. All the funky slippers. I love it. I love it. Okay. Hey, yes, I might need some help over here. As you guys can tell, we're a lot of fun, and as business should be fun. But we thank you guys, like I said, once again for being here. And this is actually a 3-part series. And tonight we're going to be talking about the who, what, and how of your business. Yes. And so we're going to have some exercises tonight. We're going to have some great conversation around that, you know, really discovering your why. And then part 2, we're going to talk about once you discover your why and your products and all of that, how are you going to be visible? You know, how are you going to present yourself out there in the community, in the world? How are you going to show up for your customers and clients that you've identified? So that's going to be part 2, and that's going to be on another day. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then part 3, we're going to talk about self-care and entrepreneurs. And that, you know, all of these are really important, but if you really think about it, that part 3 is key, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of your business. So that's going to be a really, really great part too. So we really want you to chime in for that one as well. So what we're going to do is, before we jump into the presentation, what I would like to do is find out who is on with us and type that in the chat for us. If you're out there, we'd love to just welcome you and thank you for being here. Hear about where you're from. We have LaDonna from Driftwood, Texas. Driftwood, Texas. Where are you drifting? Where is Driftwood, Texas? I think that's outside of Austin. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So we got LaDonna from Driftwood, Texas. And we're going to have people, speaking of drifting, probably drifting in as we present. And we totally welcome that. But we wanted to honor your time, so we wanted to start promptly at 8 o'clock.
And we also want to welcome those who are able to then if you weren't able to come, you know, this replay will be available to you, and you can chime in. So we are welcoming those who at a later time are going to be chiming in and looking at this video. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And I want to let you know that I am Lisa Randolph, but this here is Pat Alva Kraker. She is my partner in Thrive. So we're not partners in crime, we're partners in Thrive. And LaDonna is also another partner in Thrive, you know, with us. She is she's going to help us with the Zoom. She is our Zoom diva. So she's our partner in Thrive as well. So the only crime is that we have not gotten together prior to right now. But here we are. Oh, we have another
Jen.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, this is my other diva friend, Jan Ting, Alexander Tingo.
All right. Hello, welcome, Jan. Are you from Dallas?
I'm from Denver, but I live in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Okay, well, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Now, before we move on, do you have your funky slippers on?
I literally just came from the gym, so I have my tennis shoes on.
Okay. Well, let's see it. You know, we want to see what you got.
Bam.
Okay,
bam. There you go.
That work.
I had to work out. My sisters and I are in a challenge, so I ran from the gym.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. And we thank you for your commitment, you know, not only to your health, you know, but to your sister and also to us as well. So
Thank you.
we're glad you're with us tonight, Jan.
Awesome.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. And before we move on, I'm going to turn this over to Pat, but can you just tell us what business you're in right now? Are you already an entrepreneur, or what are you doing right now?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur as a photographer on the side.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
I'm still employed for now. I'm in engineering, and I'm actually I'm an innovator. I have a brand new job, Pat. So
Yay.
I'm doing systems engineering as an innovator, and I look at new technologies for engineers. So,
Very
Mm.
nice. Very
Yes,
nice.
that's awesome.
We
Awesome.
can't wait to hear where you want to go with all of this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do right now actually is I'm going to turn this over to Pat.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to switch over to our slide set. And if any, as you have questions, feel free to submit questions, and LaDonna will facilitate anything that comes in through the chat. So
Awesome.
So
Jan, have you used the system before, Jan?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. So you know where the chat button is, correct?
You know what? It's been a while, and I've not ever used it on my
Great.
iPad. I've always used it on my PC.
Pat, go back to the
Should be on the bottom, Jan's. Bottom
I
menu.
see. I actually see a pencil down here, Pat, off a green screen.
right. We need to go back to the slideshow. Go back out.
I actually see the slideshow. Well, I saw it for a brief moment.
okay, so
It was the notes version.
Mm-hmm. It'll come back in.
It'll come back.
Okay, are we ready?
We are ready.
Right, so is this the notes? Is it coming up?
Bingo, we got it.
Okay, we are good to go.
Perfect.
We got it. See?
Okay, so you are in the right place if you have a desire to connect with your why or want to reconnect with your why. Maybe maybe you're a seasoned entrepreneur and it's been a while since you've actually taken time to think about what ignites you in getting up every morning and get your business started. So this is a time to really think about why you're going into business and why you've been in business, and see if there's time to make a tweak in that why. You're also in the right place if you're looking for ways to package your knowledge into either services or products. And then if you're looking for ways to explore on how you can get that delivered. So again, we feel free to ask questions. We do have 3 exercises that we want you to play along with us. So let's just jump in. So I'm Pat Albuquerque, and I am a serialpreneur. I have a business in real estate, and my passion is moving women forward along with the art of business. So I help women entrepreneurs that have STEM-related businesses. I teach them how to package their knowledge, get visible, and create a business that is sustainable and that resonates with who they are. I am a recent how should I say? I still consider myself, I'm a newlywed. I've only been married a little over a year, and this is my husband, Mitch. We both love to travel. This is a picture of us in Venice. And we have 2 4-legged kids. Chica, the wild and crazy gal Chihuahua here, runs our home. And then we have my darling little Dakota boy, who's a rescue dog. In September, I was a contributing author to this book, Systems Engineering for Projects, Achieving Positive Outcomes in a Complex World. And I'll have my own book, Stop for a Hot Dog, 31 Soulful Principles for Women Entrepreneurs, that's coming out in March. And I am so happy to be here and excited to be working with Lisa. And so I'll turn it over to Lisa.
Yes, thank you, Pat. First of all, I want to say that little Chica, what's your dog, your Chihuahua's name? Looks pretty vicious.
She can be.
Yes. I don't think I want to tangle with her. Thank you. So I'm Lisa Randolph, and I have been a full-time entrepreneur for 23 years now. I'm going on my 23rd year as a full-time entrepreneur, and I have my own company, and it's Kaizen Endeavors. And within that company, I have various subsidiaries or various legs. And it's all about any company that I put under my parent company is about enhancing or helping people and also helping the planet. So I'm very passionate about bringing the best out in people and the planet. And I have a coaching business under that as well. And some of the things that I really love to do, I just kind of put a little collage here together, is I also mentor young girls to find their voice, their entrepreneurial voice, their leadership voice. That's something that I'm passionate about, and it really ignites me. So there's some images of me with some of the young ladies that I have mentored. I also, around Christmas, play Cindy Lou Who. So that is the image you're seeing there on the right. I also have a passion for playing drums. That's kind of my stress reliever. And I also have had the opportunity and been blessed to write a couple of books. The first one, Be the Answer, was a collaborative effort with 7 other entrepreneurial women. And our stories were basically about stepping out of our safety zone, the comfort zone. A lot of us were in corporate America, and finally stepping into that entrepreneurial space and taking the leap and finding out what our passion was. And mine was definitely, like I said, to inspire others. The book on the right is Map It Out, which one of the first businesses I started was a massage practice. So I've also been a body worker and in the massage industry for over 20 years. And basically what this is it's my journey from the time that I left corporate America and started my business as a massage therapist, and basically what has brought me to the point that I'm at now. It really maps out the systems that helped me to get to where I am now as an entrepreneur. And I'm passionate about really helping other wellness professionals and other entrepreneurial women who want to step into the space of owning their own business. And so I'm honored that you're here today, and I'm glad to be holding this space with Pat. And so we look forward to really sharing with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So one of the first questions that we ask, even as coaches, is why are you going into business? And the why of your business is what drives you through all the ups and downs of your business. It's what gets you up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And it is whatever you want to call your purpose, your cause, or your belief that gets you into your business and wanting to make a difference and making a difference in a big way. When you think about it, if you've been around kids, there's this one infamous question that kids are really good at asking, and that is, why? Even at that young age, we intuitively know that there is a motive behind every action in every story. And so the why also becomes very important in our business. What's important about the why is when you have a strong why, it equals commitment in your business. And you want to think about what got you into business to begin with. Some entrepreneurs go into business because they want the freedom. Some go in because they want to make a lot of money. And hopefully that's not the reason why you're in business, is because of money. Because one of the questions that we always ask is, if money was not an issue, what would your business be, and what would it look like? And so the why it becomes such an important aspect of your business. People will do business because of your why, not because what you offer. So it's not what you do, it's not how you do it, it's why you do it. And one company that's really good about sharing their why is Apple. Apple is very successful. I can tell you that out of all the phones that are available, the iPhone is one of the best, but there are other phones that are even better than an iPhone that are made by China. But Apple has the market because they start with their why. And I'm just going to read an example of what their why is so you can get an idea. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. So their why is they are challenging the status quo, and they want to do things and think differently. So in your business, you should, in your marketing, have a way that the way you express why you're in business. So what I want to do is, you should have had a handout that came with this link. And if you don't, it's okay. There are 2 questions that we would like you to take time to answer. And one of those questions is, why did you go into business? Or why are you considering going into business? And the second question is, who do you want to impact? So I just want you to take a moment and jot down whatever comes to your mind first is, why did you go into business? And who do you want to impact? So as you write those answers to your questions, I invite you to sleep on them and see what comes up for you in the morning as you give thought to what drives you to do what you do. Okay. And with that, I'd like us to jump into now the what.
Yes, so the what, once you figure out your why, which, as Pat was saying, that's basically what's going to get you up during the day, right? That's your purpose. That is your purpose for doing something, your mission. So once you really figure that out, you need to figure out how you want to package that. What are you knowledgeable in? And I think a lot of people, they really think that they don't have anything to offer. But if you really sit down and really go through an exercise that says, what am I good at, right? What are my strengths? You're going to find out that you're really good at a lot of different things. And then really, which one of those things, just fills me up? What can I really share with somebody that's going to really change their life or impact them or make their lives easier? And that, to me, that's what business is all about. And we all have a gift and knowledge that we can share with other people. And so even think about, let's say if you're in corporate America right now, for instance, you have some things that you're doing in corporate America or some strengths that you could carry over into your own business. So don't discount what you're already learning in corporate America. Those can be carried over, into your own business, and you can share those with your clients. And so let's say, for instance, you might be good at building databases. A lot of people, they don't want to touch that. They're like, that is just too tedious. But to you, it might make your heart sing. You might be like, oh my God, I love building databases. So there's somebody that can use that service. So think about that. There's somebody who is not very good with setting up their IT systems. And that just might be something that is great for you. Well, that's something you might want to carry into starting a business, maybe being an IT consultant for small business owners. So there again, you're packaging your knowledge and your strengths, and that's something you can do in your sleep, right?
Yeah, and I think, Lisa, one of the other questions that comes up for me is, what do people go to you for?
Right.
They come in your office and they say, you're really good at blank. Would you mind helping me with this? And so,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly, that too. And it might be something you never even thought of. It might be you're good at at some research. So can you help me out with a research project?
Yeah.
You might not have never thought of that as a strength or as knowledge that somebody else will find value in, but there's value in doing research. And believe me, a lot of businesses and people are out there that could use that service. So just really think about the things that you could do in your sleep and look at how you can turn those into business, something you're passionate about. And I just want to share a quick story with you. So when I was in the hotel industry, I left the hotel industry 23 years ago. And the young lady that was my assistant, her name was Natalie. And I call Natalie my lifesaver. Because she really kept me organized when I was working in the hotel, and she could run my business and knew my clients, better than me pretty much. And so when I started my own business as an entrepreneur, the first thing I noticed was I knew all about sales and I knew marketing and I knew client retention. I knew all of that. But there were all the other things that when I was in corporate America that other people did that I didn't realize, like your bookkeeping and your filing and making phone calls for you, all those things that you don't think about. and you step out there, you're like, what am I going to do? So I contacted Natalie and I asked her if she would help me for just 5 hours a month and help get me organized, get me on track, make phone calls for me. You know, I just found other little things she could do so that I could go really focus on building my business. So she allowed me to go work on my business and not in my business doing those administrative things. So I found her because that was her strength, right? So find somebody that you can delegate to that it's their strength and they can do that in their sleep. So that's what I did. And as a result, I told her, I said, you are so valuable that you can help other small business owners. So she now has her own virtual assistant business, and she is helping so many business owners right now just as a result of that. So, you know, that's the kind of thing. Think about, you know, reaching out to other people who is their strength and let them help you with your mission. But that's just a story about how she was able to take her knowledge, her strength, and turn it into a business and help other people. So that's just something to think about. And as we move on, the next thing we're going to talk about is once you have your services, and also think about products. You might have products that can complement services. So it's not just a service business. You might also want to offer products that can complement that as well.
Right.
And, you know, the reason you want to do that also is to have various ways to reach your clients, right? So you have different offerings for them, but it also becomes different multiple streams of income for you as well. So think about the different ways that you can reach your clients, not just through services, but maybe some complementary products to go along with that. And that's something we would drill down into if we were working with you personally.
So we do have an exercise for this section. In your handout, it is what are some ideas or some products or services that you could offer your clients or some that are existing. And so we want you to take a minute and just kind of brainstorm some possibilities that come to you that you can turn into a product and or a service. So just again, we invite you to play along with us and fill out that in your handout. What could you offer? Now, how can you extend your current offerings?
Exactly. If you're already a business owner, how can you add something else to your menu of services or your offerings that will add more value to your clients? Right?
Yes, and as Lisa mentioned, you know, how do you deliver your product? And really, there's so many different ways. It's just a matter of what does your competition do today in your industry? Let's say, you know, for example, Jan is a photographer. So how do photographers actually deliver all their products? How do customers like to engage and buy services from a photographer for a wedding or for an event? And, right, you know, which of the methods that you can communicate to your clients actually resonates with you. So that's, you know, we can brainstorm on ways of delivery, ways of getting seen and heard with even photography. And I think about, when you're talking about massage, I think about yoga, where yoga is becoming so popular these days. If that was a part of your products, you know, how do you deliver that? You know, which way do your clients like to buy? Is that product that you may be thinking about, is it a product that you would like to sell through Amazon? Because many entrepreneurs are now putting their products on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And are you a person that likes to interact with people, and so you'd rather have a storefront because you want to engage your clients and they can give you ideas and you can get feedback on your products immediately. So there are different ways that you can deliver your product. It's one of doing the research, finding out what your competition is doing, what would make you stand out, and of all the ways, which method really resonates with you that you would have fun doing.
Exactly.
So, right.
What resonates with you and what resonates with your customers as well. Where are they? You know, yes. Are most of them, do they want to see a book from you? If so, that's another way to deliver your service in a book. You're turning that service into a product, actually. So you can do a how-to book. If your service is IT consulting, you could turn that into a book, right? Mm-hmm. the basics of learning IT and sell it to your clients. LaDonna, she talks about, and she's really good at developing visual slide decks for presentations and training. And so that's a service, but she has taken it a step further and she's made it a book. So therefore what she's done is she's turned that service into a product as well. So she has multiple ways to reach her clients, and really multiple ways to reach different segments of her clients, because some people might want the consulting piece of it or her to develop their slides, and some people might want to just read about it. So you're opening up the different avenues and income streams for yourself, and also ways to have touch points with your clients. And honey, let me tell you, all of us can use LaDonna's services, because that's one thing as an entrepreneur, you'll pull your hair out about.
Yeah.
Slide decks. So, yes. So as you can see, there's a lot to think about, but this was just a quick exercise. We just want to give you food for thought. And this is something that you can go and just really sit down and really start to develop. And as Pat said, if you already have a list of services, it's always good to revisit those and to make sure that they're still valid.
And really, and see right, exactly. And it's like, well, the important thing about when you take a look at your services is to actually measure if your products are actually being bought and are being bought. And because at certain, and the reason this is good to be is if you're a seasoned entrepreneur, is that we have to actually make time to go back and look at what we offer. And is it still working? Are clients still buying it? Has technology changed that you need to revisit how you deliver it?
So, exactly.
Yeah.
More online presence. You might want to do more online classes. You know, that's a big thing right now. Offer various classes of your services. That makes it a product as well. So it's endless what you can do. And we can only just touch on the surface right here. We just wanted to, like I said, give you some things to think about. So.
Get you excited about it. You know, just when I'm thinking about the delivery and some extensions of that, you know, we've got Jan on the line. She's a photographer, and I love photography as well. I don't think I'd go into it as a business, but if you started putting snippets of techniques on how to take pictures when you're outside, when you're in a wedding, when you're taking pictures of family, I would jump on that.
Exactly.
Jump on that. So, you know, think about how you might be able to educate your client who would appreciate a tip or two on photography or whatever your business is, and be adding value in that way. So that, we're just going to give you an example. This particular course that we're doing, we can actually, it'll be recorded. It'll be a free giveaway. We can do snippets from this webinar and put it on our website. We can do snippets and put it on Facebook Live or YouTube. So you can, when you think about delivering it, you can deliver it in snippets, you can deliver it the whole product, and you can repurpose a lot of what you're doing. So this is just kind of an idea to open you up on ways to deliver what you know.
It's endless. You could do a vlog. You could put some of this in a vlog. I mean, there's just so much that you can do with it, Jan.
And actually, Lisa, I was just about to ask that question. Do people even blog as much as they used to?
Yes.
I haven't even seen, people blogging like they used to. What's the mechanism of communicating, through the web now?
Yes.
YouTube is pretty big.
YouTube is pretty big, and really what it comes down to is what are you best at? So for me, I love face-to-face, and I love video. And there are some people that just love to write. They would never want to be seen on video. And so the way they communicate their value to clients is through blogging. So blogging is still very popular.
Still very hot. It is still very hot. It's very, and some people are dropping video into their blogs now. So they're doing blogging. So, but it's still very popular. Okay. And I'd recommend that you at least play with it a little bit. Right now you're in a space where you just want to try different things and see what's going to stick and what's going to resonate with your clientele once you determine who that clientele really is. I don't know if you've sat down and really thought about that yet either. So once you do that, you can get laser focused. Podcast is another huge thing. It's major. And as a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to launch a podcast this year. But that is another way to really get out there, be known, and to really gain that credibility. So that's something else you might want to think about, Jan.
And her question is so appropriate because visibility is so important, right? If you can't be seen and heard, it doesn't matter if you can have the best product, but if nobody can find you, then it's pointless. So that's our next part too, is all about how do you become visible and how do you become seen and heard. And so that's a really, really important part of the business. And, I like what you just said, Lisa, about you trying is as entrepreneurs, we are experimenting all the time. All the time.
All the time.
You create, you try it out, see if it works, you tweak it, and if it doesn't sell or doesn't resonate with you, then you go on to something else. You try a different delivery method and see if that works, and you just experiment. You experiment on what your product is, you experiment on how you want to deliver it, and that is how we finesse and get down to the one product that really your client wants and gets delivered the way your client wants it, and that also resonates with you. So that's what I love about being an entrepreneur, is that you have to be willing to experiment and be willing to fail and try something new until you find what works.
Exactly. If you're not failing, you're not out there trying. I can tell you that right now. Fail, learn, and move on. And something else I want to chime in on is a lot of it also is about timing. So you might have a great product, but the timing might not be right for that in the market. But who's to say 2 years down the road that it will not be the thing that people are looking for? So learn what you can after you launch. Don't just throw it away, because I guarantee you that people's needs and the market's interest change. And you might look up. I always recommend that people or entrepreneurs keep a dream book, and different ideas, different things you want to try them. And if it doesn't work, you still have that book you can always go back to, because along your journey, you're going to start to meet people. It might be 2 years down the road after you've tried something, and somebody might say, I'm looking for, somebody that does X, Y, Z. And you might say, I already have something like that I tried 2 years ago. Now it's time. So just remember that as well. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And one of the questions that we had earlier on is your why, and who do you want to impact? I just want to tell a story about that, as you say, because as entrepreneurs, we evolve. And when I've been a coach for 14 years, and for 12 of those years, I coach professionals, women in engineering and women in IT. And when I retired, I just gave thought to what I really wanted my business to look like. And now I have the freedom to invest all my heart and soul in my business and in the art of doing business. And when I came to realize that I love the art of doing business and that I wanted to move women forward, I came to realize that the audience that I wanted to now work with was women entrepreneurs. And as you evolve, the group or the audience that you want to impact may change.
Exactly.
And give yourself permission to be flexible and make those changes in your business.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's a good point, Pat. Because one of my markets is, I love working with, as I mentioned, wellness professionals. Because I am one, and I know that when you're in school, be it massage school, physical therapy, acupuncturist, chiropractor, whatever, they don't really focus on the business a lot. They focus on you being a technician. So what I've seen is that a lot of people in those professions, they get out there, they struggle, and then they don't end up being good business people, and they end up shutting their doors. And it hurts my heart to see people in those industries who are so talented and they're gifted, that's their true gift, but they don't know how to make it stick as a business. And that is why I'm so passionate about that industry, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll always be passionate about that industry, but I love women as well because I'm a female entrepreneur. So I love helping women get out there and realize their dream. And again, as I talked about earlier, children. I love helping young girls think about being in that entrepreneurial space, you know, starting young and then growing into being female leaders and entrepreneurs. So it's kind of like what Pat was saying, as your experiences go on and your entrepreneurial journey, your markets will change a little bit, right? Yeah, absolutely.
They will change. They will change. Okay, do we have any questions from what we've covered?
Questions right now? Good place for questions.
We have covered a lot today.
Yes. Any questions for us, Jazz?
No, I was just taking notes while you guys were talking.
Is there anything that really resonates with you or something you're like, oh, I really, really want to dig into that deeper and really focus on that?
Well, probably the very last conversation about, you know, you might have a product sometime that could be ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't, you know, just put it kind of on the parking lot. I like that idea because if you think about it, I mean, I don't know if this has happened to either of you, but sometimes you'll have an idea
Mm-hmm.
and you try to maybe launch it and people just aren't ready for it. And then you know, maybe a year later, you see somebody else launch it and you're thinking,
right.
oh, I had that idea.
Where's my book? Where's my book? I need to dig it out.
You know, it took off like a rocket. And I'm thinking, well, what happened here? But it could just be that you were ahead of your time.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't discourage me or anybody else to go ahead and still do the product. Because because we all have different, you know, we live in different parts of the country and we have different areas and we introduce a product in a different way. So even though maybe somebody else has introduced something that you thought was a unique idea that you had,
right?
I would not let that stop me, and I haven't let things like that stop me because, you know, I'm always thinking, well, that was my idea. So I have passion for it. I'm going to go ahead and go forward with it anyway.
Good.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm glad you say that because that is key because once a product is, when you see it's viable, like you said, a year or two down the road, pull yours out again and go, okay, what is it that differentiates mine from what they're doing now, right? Because now you know there's a market for it.
Mm-hmm.
And how can I tweak mine and make it better? So never throw those ideas away. Never
Absolutely.
throw them away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is a good comment. It's a good comment. And really, I love the comment that you made is that everybody's different. So you can have the same product and it can be delivered differently because our talents, our gifts make us unique. And you're going to add that uniqueness to your service and your product. And that's what's really going to be the differentiator.
You bring up a key, Pat, that it's the delivery. You know, you might decide you're going to turn around now that this is a hot thing, and you might deliver yours in an online course, whereas they might be delivering it at trade shows or in a book or whatever. So, I mean, there's enough business out there for everybody. And I think that we as entrepreneurs need to realize that. But that's also the reason why it's so important to really get clarity on who you want to be of service to.
Yes.
And that is something that, you know, we really need to talk about is really get clear about who your market is, who you want to serve, you know, and then from there you can really get strategic about how you put your plan together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So, all right.
Good questions, good comments, everything. Good input. Anything else?
Okay. You want to sum it up, Lisa?
All right. Well, we talked about a lot today, and I'm just going to give a little summary. You know, the biggest thing that we talked about was that why. You know, we kept coming back to that why, what's going to drive you. You know, what is your purpose? What is going to get you up in the morning, even on those days when you don't feel like it? Because let me tell you, there are going to be those days when you don't want to get out of bed, or something fell through, you know, on something, a project, and you get discouraged. But always go back to your why, because that's what's going to keep you moving forward. That's going to keep you moving towards the momentum. Okay, so just think about that why, your purpose. And you're just waiting for what you have to offer.
Exactly. And
that's the thing. That's the thing. You need to realize that what you have is the answer to somebody else's problem, their prayer. They're waiting for your product. They're waiting for your service. So you have to keep going. You have to keep doing that why. They are your why.
Yeah, exactly. And one comment that I wanted to make on that, on the why, Lisa, is when you're very clear about your why, and if you have a team, it drives your team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They want to get behind you. They want to get behind you. And if you're excited about it, you know, they're like, what can I do to help you with that, to make that happen? To make sure everybody buys into that why that's working with you. That's a great point, Pat. And how you're going to deliver what you have to offer, right? We talked a lot about that. And there are different ways to deliver different products and different services. So what do you feel strong about delivering as far as the vehicle? Is it going to be online? Is it going to be a blog? You know, where do you feel strong in those areas? Is it going to be a book? Or it can be all of them. You know, there again, that's open up the market for your clients. So it can be all of those things. But sit down and really think about your delivery. Is it going to be classes? Is it going to be live events? You know, that's a big thing right now. Really get in front of the people and connect with them. That's huge when people can get in a room with you. So that is another way to provide delivery. And we're going to really get into that in part 2 of this webinar series about how to be visible and how to deliver your products and services.
Right, and I love what you said about getting in front of people. And one of the things that we're going to do differently for our part 2 and part 3 is we're actually going to do those live. Lisa and I decided that we love the energy of people and being around people live, and so we're going to turn part 2 and part 3 into workshops in the Dallas area. They're going to be recorded, and so if you have, you know, if you've registered for this and you're watching part 1 now, just know that these 2 sections will be recorded and they will be made available to you.
Exactly.
So that is awesome. So February 6th is about how to become visible. And this is about really taking a look at how you like to best communicate. Some people just, you know, love being in video. Some people like to write. Some people like to do it in pictures. And so it's about getting to know yourself and what is your best way of communicating, and being able to, you know, take a look at a strategy of how to consistently be in front of people, because that's the key. It's consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know what? You have to be consistent. And so we'll talk about that.
Yes, you're right. It's about being consistent, being out there, because as you mentioned earlier, you can have the best product in the world or whatever, but if you're not visible, if people don't know about you, it doesn't matter. You're not going to make that impact. So like we said, get out there, be it online or in person. Look wonky, do it wrong, but just do it, right? And you know, you'll get better as you go along. I know that, you know, when I'm working with massage therapists, when I'm coaching them, I say, you could be the best massage therapist in the world. You could like just have, oh my God, this almighty healing touch. But if people don't know about you and what you have to offer, it doesn't matter. They're not going to come knock on your door and say, oh my God, I heard you're the best massage therapist that has walked this earth, right?
Right.
Get out there and make yourself visible and share your gift with people. And so that's the piece we're really going to hit home with that in that February 6th class. Absolutely.
And then on March 6th, we are going to be focusing on self-care. An adage that you've heard all your life is, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And sometimes women entrepreneurs are the worst in self-care, and we want to bring that to the forefront. and just really have a serious discussion on self-care and the simple things that you can do that take 5 minutes to things that you can actually put in your calendar on a consistent basis so that you're nourishing yourself from a mind, body, and soul perspective and really being proactive about taking care of your health.
Exactly.
Yes.
Your health is your business. I mean, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your clients. And it is really that whole put your oxygen mask on first.
Yeah.
Really. Take care of you first, and then you'll have something to share with other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're really going to touch on that as well.
Exactly.
Rituals, different things you can do. As Pat said, it doesn't have to be something long, but it has to be consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency is the word through this whole thing. It has to be consistent.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So we touched on 3 major parts of your business: the why, the what, and the how. And really, these are just an introduction to really what composes your entire business. There are other components that we didn't cover today, but that will be covered in a retreat that we are offering.
Yes, yes, yes. And we are excited that we're going to hold space with 10 women. And our retreat is coming up March the 28th through 31st. And so please mark your calendars. And actually registration is now open, but it's called Own It. And so we're going to be with you for 2.5, almost 3 days. And we're going to really do some planning of your business. We're going to really plan out what we talked about today, but additional things as well. And talk about women stepping into their voice. So that's the thing. You know, a lot of times in business, women don't step into, I'm the CEO of this business. I'm the boss. You know, I'm the visionary for this business. You know, we want you to show up as leaders and don't apologize for it. Be bold, you know, unapologetically. That's the kind of stuff we're going to do. It doesn't matter where you are in your journey as an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
Really map out your plan. So the retreat, as you can see here, it's an all-inclusive. So it includes your accommodations for the 3 nights. All your meals are included and all of the materials. And just not to mention the sisterhoods and the friendship and the support that you're going to get. You're going to walk away with a 90-day vision canvas board, a plan to accomplish what's on that board. So, you know, we all set these big visions for the year, but the best way to do that, you know, as the proverb says, is to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
So we're going to break those goals down and those visions into 90-day chunks. So we're going to come up with a 90-day plan with you. We're going to give you a leadership kit, you know, a self-leadership kit, a visibility plan, so that as soon as you leave this retreat, you're going to hit the ground running and you're going to become visible out there. And we just want this to transform your business and to transform your life, because if you think about it, really, they're connected. And business is holistic. So that's why we're also going to touch on the self-care and all of those things around your business. And we also are going to touch on operating your business from a masculine and a feminine perspective. That's not something you hear people talk about, especially with women, right? We're always taught to be very nurturing and everything. And that's what makes us unique in business. But there are times when we need to learn how to tap into that masculine energy and make a decision.
Exactly. And it can be the other way around.
Up, right, Pat?
Right. And in some cases, you may be working in an industry that's primarily masculine. And, and I can even talk to that because we've been in engineering and in IT, which is a male-dominated industry. And so you end up nurturing the masculine side of you, and you let go of the feminine side. And so what we're trying to say is in our retreat is that there's a balance of both, and both are required to be successful in your business. And so we're going to nurture, we're going to talk about how you nurture both sides. And it's and not only that, this is at a beautiful, beautiful yoga retreat center called Mariposa Yoga Retreat Center. It is heavenly, isn't it? And it is in Fort Worth. And we're gonna add fun. If it isn't fun, we ain't doing it.
We ain't doing it. So Come and look. You know it's fun because we wear funky slippers. And so this is only the beginning. So you have got to be in the room with us because we're going to support each other. And also beyond the retreat, there is also going to be 30 days of ongoing to your vision and your plan. We're going to support you through 30 days of coaching, and there's going to be weekly calls so that we can support you and where you are and answer questions and just do a little masterminding together. And there's going to be accountability partners. So you're our passion right now. We're passionate about you and seeing you take your gifts out into the world. We're going to do everything we can in order to support you to make that happen. So
Absolutely.
The thing is, if it doesn't happen now, when are you really going to do it? You know? Exactly. Keep asking that question, and it's going to be never. You have to create the perfect time now.
Right. If not now, when, right? And if not you, who?
Exactly.
You, who? So we know that some of you may have some questions, and so we're providing our information on this last slide with our phone numbers and our emails. If you have anything comes up in regards to this presentation regarding the retreat, we want you to know that you can call and ask us. Yeah, ask us any questions, and we're really grateful that you're here and that we are able to add some value in a way that will grow your business. And really, we just want to open it up to see if we have anything else, Lisa, that you might want to share in regards to what we've done, and then we can call it a night.
Well, I tell you, I'm just excited. First of all, thank you for being here. You know, we know it's late, and that you're spending your evening with us, so we really appreciate that. But I am just so excited and so full about being here with you today, and about the possibilities of what
absolutely
with you. As you can tell, we're both very passionate about helping women and entrepreneurs realize their dreams. So we'd love to have you with us, and definitely join us for the next two webinars and the live events, actually.
And we will notify you. We will be sending out emails of when the next two sessions are and where they're going to be located. So if you're local, we want you there. And if you're not, you will get a replay of the video. And we'll consistently send you information about the retreat. And so it's not until March. So you have, we'd love to have you sign up. It's only for 10 women. And if you have any questions, you call us on that for sure.
And it looks like LaDonna, if you look in the chat, LaDonna has put the actual link there. So you can click on that link, and that will take you to the registration page. And you'll be able to register right there, or reach out to us and ask additional questions.
Okay.
So it looks like we had somebody else join us. I see somebody under Jan.
Yeah. Wonderful.
I don't know who it is, but we're glad you're here.
We are so glad you're here. Definitely glad you're here. So until then, we wish you a restful evening for being here with us in the evening. And again, reach out to us. We are here to help you. And with that, good night. Buenas noches.
Good night. And here's to your health, wealth, and your success.
Absolutely. And your happiness. Yay.
Happiness. Yay. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you, LaDonna.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.